Welcome to Fishing with Dave on Channel 43 Public Access. Here's your host, Captain Dave.
Greetings, everybody, and welcome. Join me on Mirror Lake. I'm your host, Dave, and welcome to another great episode of Fishing with Dave. Sometimes when I'm out here on the lake, I think about how fragile things really are, Not the water or the trees, but the things we make. Software is strange that way, It feels permanent when you are living with it. When it's installed, when it boots up every day without complaint, and then one day it's gone. The disk degrades, the hardware dies, the company disappears, and of course, knowledge always fades. If we're not for preservation, entire eras of creativity would already be lost. I think about something as simple as sitting down and playing Mini Zork on a Commodore 64 right now, from the comfort of the internet. No hardware search, scavenging, or searching, no rare disks, no gatekeepers, just access. That would never feel normal. That should feel miraculous. Someone cared enough to dump the disk. Someone documented the hardware, built the emulators, hosted it, and said this matters. And to me it does. If we had not preserved early software, where would we be today? Where would modern game design be without the lessons learned from text adventures, from limitations, from clever solutions born out of necessity rather than convenience? Those early programmers were not working with abundance, they were working with restraint. And of course, as everyone knows, restraint breeds creativity. You see, you see it in every clever parser trick, every memory-saving hack, every decision made because there was simply no room for access. That DNA still lives in good software today, whether people realize it or not. Out here fishing, I am often reminded about that patience. You don't need to rush understanding, you sit with it. You learn from what came before it. Preservation is exactly that. It's a respect for the past, not nostalgia, but for a foundation. And that is why it is hard not to feel a little uneasy watching the current flood of AI generated games pouring into storefronts. PlayStation 5 especially. Endless, disposable, soulless content made in minutes, and it's often forgotten in seconds. There's no lineage there, no memory, not you're not understanding of why things work, only that something technically exists. Software should not be like fast food. When everything is created instantly, nothing is cherished. When nothing is cherished, nothing is preserved. The people archiving old games and old tools and old operating systems are doing more than saving files. They are preserving ways of thinking. They're preserving proof that creation once required care and effort and attention. And that's honestly all that matters. Because the future of software is not built in isolation. It is built on shoulders, whether we acknowledge them or not. Out here on the lake, the world feels slower, intentional, and honest. You cast your line knowing you may not catch anything today, and that's okay. The act itself has value. Now, preserving software is the same. You may never use everything you save, but knowing it is there still matters. It reminds us where we came from. It reminds us that creativity did not begin with algorithms. It reminds us that the human hands once typed every line, solved every problem, and left something behind, worth remembering. So here's to the archivists, the tinkerers, the preservationists. There, yeah! I got it right on the third try. Quietly keeping history alive. Because without them, we would not just lose old games, we will lose ourselves. That's my cat. She says hello. Until next time, fishermen and women and cats, take care.